Hello and welcome to UC Today. I'm Tom Wright and I'm delighted to be joined by Anders from Pexip. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Tom. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's great to have you. We're going to be talking about hybrid work today, and I think to start with, perhaps you could set the scene. Just talk through some of the challenges that businesses are facing now they're getting back to their offices, getting back to their meeting spaces.
Good question and very broad topic, obviously. I think a lot of things have happened over the past two and a half years. Obviously, me coming from a video communication company, really saw very quickly that hybrid work happened overnight back in 2020, when the COVID hit and people were asked to go home and work from home the next day. And then people didn't really have solutions at the time. And what we've seen is, a very wide range, I think, of solutions and very wide or a very large number of solutions actually came into play overnight. And then obviously then now coming back to the office, people are used to using their platforms, the ways of working, the ways of attending meetings, and video, not video, and so forth. And then hybrid work has really become, I think, the be all and end all for meetings going forward.
Yeah, but as you mentioned, lots of businesses didn't have the right kind of tools in place a couple of years ago, so they've adopted new tools and platforms over the past couple of years. So what happens now if they get back to the office and they realise that these new tools don't play very nicely with what they had in place before?
Yeah, no, one of our big jobs is obviously that of connecting various tools together. Whether you have this meeting platform or that meeting platform, we can solve those challenges for customers. As I said, people really went home and started working off platforms they maybe hadn't tried before, and maybe IT had to implement in just a very short amount of time, which also meant a lot of shadow IT, a lot of complexity, I would say, and a lot of different working practices and so forth. So we try and solve those challenges for companies by connecting many of these technologies together and making sure that the user experience is somewhat similar, depending on what platform you're on, depending on what you expect as an end user.
Yeah, and if we look specifically at one of these platforms, Microsoft Teams, everyone knows how much success Microsoft's seen with Teams over the past couple of years. What kind of trends are you seeing now in terms of taking Teams, outside of people's homes and into meeting rooms and other locations?
It's quite funny because obviously Teams is here to stay. It's grown, tremendously over the past 2 years, and I think Teams is now the platform to look at. Obviously, with all the features and all the stuff and all the things that they're bringing out on a daily basis, almost in terms of new user experiences and so forth, and new things and new ways you can work with it, I think is super important. But then, as you say, coming out to their homes, coming back to offices, we see that some people and companies which have quite established meeting practices from before with video rooms and so forth, employees go into their meeting rooms and huddle around their laptops rather than using the equipment that already exists in the room, which is obviously a very, very specific thing to do. And when you have high quality video systems and then you still huddle around your laptop with lots of people, and that's not necessarily the most efficient.
Yeah, okay, so let's go into a bit more detail on that point actually and talk a bit about Pexip. How are you helping businesses bridge that gap between Teams and the technology they've already got in place in their rooms that maybe they're not utilising, to its full effect?
Yeah, so we worked with Microsoft since a long time. Actually, we started working with Microsoft on so-called interoperability solutions back in 2016 and worked very closely with them since then, developing ever since in terms of user experience, in terms of the actual technical connection between types of systems. So one of the key things that we do today is bridge existing and legacy systems with the Teams meetings in order to allow the customer to join a Teams meeting using any kind of technology they already have, really. And that's obviously something that we're quite, I would say, good at. I would say that our experience is probably the better user experience. We're working very closely with Microsoft in terms of developing that experience as well as the Teams platform evolves, and the Teams platform provides new ways of working and new ways of experiencing their meetings and so forth. We try and replicate that to make Teams-like solutions also on the other conferencing systems that the customer has.
Okay, great. And I've just got one final question for you, Anders. I wonder if you could kind of look into the future a bit, give us some clues about what we can expect to see coming from Pexip over the coming months.
No, I think we'll continue to do what we're really good at, which is enhancing meeting experiences and extending the Teams meeting experience as well to more users. I think a couple of the other things that we're working on with Microsoft as well, very important, very interesting in terms of bridging, for instance, Teams to business consumer space, so the B2C space, working on all sorts of different engagement platforms and so forth with Microsoft. So not really just bridging Teams and the meetings, but also helping customers with the businesses with their business continuity, such as bridging Dynamics and Exchange and Azure and Teams and so forth to end user based experiences.
Yeah, there's certainly a lot of tools out there to connect, isn't there? But Anders, it's been great talking to you. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you so much.
And thank you everyone for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and a share on social media, and we'll see you next time.